Diddy's trial heats up, Lil Durk fights for bail, Skai Jackson's ex is accused of abuse, and Meghan claps back at the Free Tory Brigade. Now let's get one thing straight. Megan Thee Stallion and Skai Jackson owe nobody their silence. Not the courts, not the media, and definitely not the internet trolls with all the audacity and zero facts. Megan Thee Stallion is exhausted, and rightfully so. In a raw and blistering TikTok post, the Houston rapper shut down a fresh wave of gaslighting statements that resurfaced thanks to Tory Lanez supporters, who are now hiding behind a Change.org petition calling for his release. Even Drake shamelessly gave it a nod, but Megan, she's not here to play with y'all. Responding via her official Instagram account, Megan said, "At what point are y'all going to stop making me have to relive being shot by Tory? He didn't get on that stand and deny it because he knows what he did." Read that again, y'all. A jury found Tory Lanez guilty. Facts, not rumors, not hearsay. The man is doing 10 years. Case closed. Yet and still, our girl is forced to defend her truth every few months, because people are more invested in protecting a black male celebrity shooter than a woman who survived his violence. Since being shot by Tory Lanez, Megan has been harassed, doubted, and disrespected for years, all while mourning the same trauma of being shot. She reminded us all the toll that online abuse has taken on her and asked the million-dollar question, why would I lie about this? Her final words, clear, sharp, and unapologetic. Tory, please leave me alone. I am off this silly-ass internet shit. Goodbye. Meanwhile, across town, Skai Jackson is fighting her own horror story, and it's not fictional either. The former Disney star is battling for her life and the safety of her newborn son after enduring a full year of domestic violence at the hands of her ex, DeAndre Bergen. And while we are not just talking arguments and disagreements, we are in fact talking about pure physical domestic terror. According to court documents, DeAndre didn't just abuse Skai, he brutalized her. On Mother's Day, as she held their 3-month-old baby, he allegedly dragged her by her hair, slammed her head into a car window, and punched her in the face. As if that wasn't horrifying enough, she says he once held her at knife point while she was pregnant and demanded she drink bleach to kill their unborn child. This isn't a toxic relationship anymore. It is a crime scene. She locked herself in bathrooms trying to escape him, only for him to punch through the door like a horror movie villain and choke her until she couldn't breathe anymore. She has video evidence and the scars to prove it. And she still had to go to court and beg for a restraining order because apparently a woman's pain needs to come with a highlight reel before anyone takes her seriously. Let's not forget, DeAndre was already in jail when their baby was born for a parole violation. And now, Skai is pleading for protection, not just for herself, but her baby and even their dog. This man owns multiple firearms and has shown no regard for any human's life at this point. And what does she want? Not money, not revenge, not drama, just peace, safety, and support. She wants him 100 yards away in a domestic violence program and paying child support. But she shouldn't even have to ask. The fact that she's still fighting to be heard is a tragedy in and of itself. This is what it means to be a woman in the public eye. This is what it means to be a black woman who dares to speak up. Megan is called a liar. Skai is ignored until she shows proof, and both are expected to smile, move on, and not make a big deal out of it. Megan was shot. Skai was abused, and somehow the world still finds a way to make them defend and constantly acknowledge their pain. The question isn't why are they angry? The question is why wouldn't they be? Talking about the abuse against women, the court drama around Sean Diddy Combs is turning darker by the day. And today's testimony was nothing short of explosive. After a long afternoon of raw emotional revelations, David James, Sean Diddy Combs' former personal assistant, delivered what felt like a bombshell. James, who worked for Combs between 2007 and 2009, didn't mince words. He recounted his earliest moments with Cassie Ventura, painting a picture of a woman trapped, glamorous on the outside but shackled on the inside. It all started in Miami when Combs rented a yacht to woo Cassie. James remembered smoking with her when she quietly said, "This place is crazy." When he asked why she didn't just leave, her chilling reply was, "He controls my career, pays my allowance, and pays my rent." But that was just the beginning. James broke down in tears as he recounted another tender yet tragic moment with Cassie, one where she lit up with joy while discussing a track list she had curated, a glimpse of freedom, creativity, maybe even hope. His testimony then veered into the disturbing. Detailing a car ride in LA, James overheard Combs refer to Cassie as both his queen and very moldable. The contrast between worship and control couldn't be more stark. Earlier, James described the eerie loyalty expected of anyone within the bad boy orbit. During his 2007 interview, a female executive told him point blank while pointing to a photo on the wall, "This is Mr. Combs' kingdom, and we are all here to serve in it." The courtroom went silent as James, again in tears, reached for tissues. This wasn't just a job, he explained. It was a kingdom ruled by a man protected security guards and silence. James recalled being told, "Stay in my lane." His instructions were clear. Do only what he was hired to do and nothing more. Today's earlier witness, Carrie Morgan, also left a strong impression. She revisited a 2018 incident when she says Combs physically assaulted her with a wooden hanger in Cassie's apartment. The real sting? She says Cassie didn't support her afterward. "I draw my line at physical abuse," Morgan said. The friendship was over, and even though Cassie offered her $30,000, allegedly through Combs, to close the case, Morgan said, "I did not demand money. She offered." Morgan also confirmed that Cassie was jealous of Combs' ex, Kim Porter, while Combs was allegedly jealous of Cassie spending time with actor Michael B. Jordan. As the courtroom doors closed today, the tension lingered. The testimonies aren't just painting a portrait of abuse, they're cracking open a system of power, fear, and manipulation. And tomorrow, the prosecution isn't finished with David James. Not by a long shot. And just when we thought the testimony couldn't get any more harrowing, it did. Enter Dawn Richard, the former Danity Kane member, turned fourth witness in Combs' bombshell trial. Her testimony didn't just shake the courtroom, it sent shockwaves through the very celebrity circles that once idolized Combs. Richard took the stand on May 16th and again on May 19th. Laying bare a chilling 2010 incident inside a private room at a high-end restaurant. There, in front of music heavyweights like Usher, Neo, Jimmy Levine, and others too powerful or too cowardly to intervene, Diddy allegedly assaulted his then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura. She immediately bent over. He told her to leave, Richard recounted, her voice steady but seething. No one intervened. But that wasn't even the most disturbing part. After the group left the restaurant, Richard rode in a car with Combs and Cassie. What she witnessed next was haunting. When Cassie voiced that he had embarrassed her, Combs allegedly grabbed her by the neck and slapped her across the mouth. "Shut the F up," he told her. "I own you." And the abuse wasn't new. Richard testified about an earlier incident in 2009 when Combs allegedly struck Cassie with a skillet. Yes, a skillet filled with eggs. He said you could go missing, she recalled. That we could die. When Sean Diddy Combs faces numerous allegations from former assistants, friends, and even stars like Dawn Richard, another high-profile hip-hop figure is trying to claw his way back to the outside world. Lil Durk, the Chicago-born rapper known for turning pain into platinum, has just been granted a June 2nd court hearing to review a third bail offer. This time, for a jaw-dropping $2.7 million. And while the number is big, so are the stakes. Durk has been behind bars for months, tied up in a murder-for-hire case after being arrested in Florida on October 25th in connection to a deadly coast-to-coast vendetta. Simultaneously, 5 members of his rap collective, Only the Family, were picked up in California, all facing charges related to the 2022 murder of fellow rapper Quando Rondo's cousin. According to prosecutors, this wasn't just street beef, it was retaliation, pure and brutal. Back in 2020, Durk's close friend and artist Big Von, who was signed to his label, was gunned down, allegedly by Lil Tim, an associate of Quando Rondo. The killing shook the rap world, but Durk didn't publicly mourn for long. Authorities now claim he and OTF plotted revenge, zeroing in on Quando's cousin as payback for Von's death. The killing in 2022 set off a chain reaction. Whispers of Durk's involvement swirled for months, but it wasn't until recently that federal investigators made their move. Wiretaps, surveillance, and internal leaks reportedly tied Durk and his crew to the planning and execution of the hit. For more updates just like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next update. I'm your host, Boma Briggs. You're watching Afropop Daily News, and this is African Origins Network.